Hey guys, today we're looking at Am I the A-hole? Where a woman goes on her honeymoon without her husband. Am I the a-hole for leaving my husband after finding out that he slept with his stepsister? Post by Spontaneous Spooker. I'm a bit scared to post this. I posted a couple of months ago about this before I left my husband, but almost everyone defended my husband, and I got no support at all. That's why I'm worried about being called the a-hole. I'm disabled and on disability. In my other post, people accused me of marrying him for the financial support. I want to make it very clear, I did not. I loved him very much. Also, I have my family support. I also sell my writing and art. It's just not enough to support myself completely right now. Now, onto the story. We'd been married for a couple of months. He'd been complaining about the huge mess in the basement, so when he went to work, I decided to try and clean it up. I ended up finding a box filled with letters from his stepsister. I also found evidence that she'd gotten pregnant with his child, and that she'd ended the pregnancy. My husband never told me anything about this. He grew up with her since he was 3. His father is now dead, but he still has his stepmother and sister in his life. I'd have to see her every week, and I just can't accept this. Say what you want about morals, you can believe whatever you want, but I just can't do it. Especially now, seeing how he treats her. I just feel so uncomfortable. She's supposed to be family. He calls her his sister. They might not be blood related, but they grew up together. Also, I don't think his stepmom knows. The other day, I asked her some questions about her daughter. She seems completely clueless. I was sickened by the amount of men in my post saying I was being judgmental. I was inappropriately touched by my aunt. I had step-siblings and I never once thought about doing anything intimate with any of them. I just feel very strongly that it's wrong. They crossed a line that should not be crossed. I feel like way too many men watch adult videos and think this is a normal thing. I try not to judge others, things happen, but they're still talking and close. I can't move on knowing he's attracted to someone he calls his sister. Fish0814 says, "That's gross. She's not just a stepsister either. She's his ex that he spends so much time with. If it was any other ex, people would be on your side. You did the right thing. I wouldn't want my wife spending that much time with an ex. Period." But she's family. Sneaky Sneak says, "To be fair, it might not be his ex. Does OP have evidence that they ever stopped sleeping together?" So I found another one of these. I just found out that my boyfriend slept with his stepsister. Posted by Public Guy 4793. I'm so lost and not sure if I'm overreacting or not. You're not. I'm just gonna say that right now. You're not. I'm a 35-year-old woman and my boyfriend is a 36-year-old man. I've been with my boyfriend for over 5 years and just found out that he slept with his stepsister many times, years ago. We're all on a family trip together right now. His mum, dad, stepbrother, stepsister, and a bunch of his other relatives. And this is the second time I'm meeting his stepsister. He was absolutely wasted last night, and I was telling him how much I like his stepsister. He continued by telling me I should dress like her, which I thought was a little strange. Then I said, "Sounds like you have a thing for your sister." And then he just came out and told me that over 15 years ago, he and his sister slept together many times. He kept mentioning it over and over, almost like he was proud of what he did. And it was a bit repulsive to me. Apparently, no one in his family knows. Only his best friend knows about what happened. Now, I honestly can't bear to look at him. I feel beyond disgusted, and I'm second-guessing our entire relationship. We have 3 more days on this family vacation. I want to book an earlier flight and go home. Also, I'm an only child, so I'm not sure how normal this is. I'm feeling a bit shallow for judging him about the situation, so I'd love some insight from others. I'm so torn. I feel like the trip's been ruined. Okay, I have 7 sisters. Not once have I ever slept with or even considered sleeping with any of them. This is not normal. He asked her to dress like his sister? Ugh! Am I the a-hole for going no contact with my family? after they expected me to get back together with my ex and help her raise her affair baby. Post by Glittering Barber 3352. I, a 30-year-old man, had been with my high school sweetheart Cassie since we were 17. My parents love her, and so did I. Our parents were always asking when we'd get married and give them grandchildren, and me and Cassie would always tell them when we're financially stable. We're both doing good in our careers. My job, however, sometimes requires me to leave the country. I left 7 months ago. I was due to come back this week, but a friend of mine rang and told me that Cassie's 3 months pregnant. Obviously, I'm not the father. I didn't believe my friend and rang up Cassie, and after some pushing, she finally broke down crying and admitted that she is pregnant and there was a drunken mistake. She said that she doesn't know who the father is because it was just some random guy, but that she wants us to keep the baby and raise it together. I was in shock and ended the call. I texted her and said that we were done. She tried to ring back, but I switched off my phone. I was on autopilot for a couple of days and just worked. Then my boss told me that he'd received a family emergency call from my dad, and I took the call. My dad basically said that Cassie confessed to the cheating, but that it was a mistake and the baby needs a father. I saw red and told him if he was so worried about the baby, then he can step up and be there. We got into a heated argument and I ended the call and blocked him. Both my parents and my ex have been texting on different numbers, telling me to step up and that mistakes happen. I got so frustrated that I rang them up and told them that I was going no contact with them and that I won't be coming back home. I heard my mother and my ex start crying before I hung up. It's been a week now and I've had time to think about what happened and wonder, am I the a-hole? I agree with Kitty Loves One down in the comments. I think his parents want grandkids so bad that they've lost their mind. Yeah, what OP said to his dad is so accurate. He's as much the father as OP, so why doesn't he step up? Am I the a-hole for not celebrating my birthday with my wife this year after she cancelled our honeymoon for a solo trip to Europe? Post by Interest Generals. I'm 33 and my wife is 32. We got married a couple of months ago. Then my wife went on a solo trip to Europe. She's always wanted to do the solo trip, but she's never had the time to do so because of work. However, she used the time off that she got for our honeymoon to instead go on her solo trip. I wanted to accompany her on the trip, but she said she needed this for her mental health. And I ultimately agreed, even though I was a bit sad about it. She thanked me many times for being so understanding of this. I put it to the back of my mind and tried to not think about it too much because I was really excited about our wedding. The wedding was great, but my wife left for a trip to Europe the next day. I really missed her and it affected my mental health. My wife came back home on my birthday last Thursday, but I was out of town, celebrating it with my sister. When she texted, asking where I was, I told her I'd be back on the weekend. I came back home on Sunday and was in a really good mood, but my wife was upset and said she wished she could have celebrated my birthday with me because she planned something special. I mean, you want to spend your first day of your marriage with your wife, but she just had to leave on day one. I told her I definitely would from next year, but this year I need to celebrate it with someone else. For my mental health. Was I the a-hole? Well, that's certainly an interesting way to start a marriage. Good luck! If you liked this video, please let me know and subscribe for more juicy tea.